Hello, my beautiful ignited souls. I am Crimey Queen, and thank you for joining me. I am going to do another video on Sophia, but it's really with intention for us to understand how our world is being shaped and to give you information that you can make informed choices of how you're going to set your own individual template for life because we are resetting now. And of course, people said that a few years ago, maybe from 2011 or so. I've heard people talking about resetting, but according to the numerology that I am doing here, this is coinciding very perfectly with the lettings, meaning the letters or contracts from Mother Eve that I have been talking about. Basically, Mother Eve or the said God. The said God is one of the 14 gods discovered in Genesis of chapter 1 and 2. And the said God is the one with words, the one who, when it is said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and so on. So we are talking about the said God, the one who said things. Basically, we are reliving or rebooting, reigniting our existence, if you like, or we are reigniting ourselves into a new existence. So we are being a new people, and it is so important that we understand which people or person we are meant to be or going to be. Be conscious of that. So I'm going to speak about Sophia in this sense, and to bring up how I am the root. Well, I won't go very far into the root, but it's the observation that I have made. So I did do a video some time ago on black, white, and so on, and it basically that brought up quite a lot because the black white was really showing contrast, which I see as functions, but we can really say that they have been very instrumental in people manipulating others and those who have seen themselves superior to others and so on. So now this has taken another notch up, if you like. So let's get on with it. So basically, um, there's a lot with this. I worked and messed around with the colors, and I saw that three of the colors had the same numerical value. So it was yellow, YELLOW, and it was black and white. Now I look at the words, and I look at words from different angles because I feel that this teaching, which is spiritually based from the King James Version of the Holy Bible, is a living material, if you like. It is live, and it is live, but it rests or it requires your intuition to really get the information that you are meant to. Basically, it's like you become an agent, just like in the Matrix, but they're like agents because, like, an agent is one who that is instrumental in getting the result, or a messenger, or getting something done. And so it's like a rising agent, bulking agent, or what that's something that comes alive. So basically, the book being by itself is not doing anything unless you really engage in it, because there is part of you that is required to ignite the word itself. And so this is how I have developed quite a lot of I'd say, I was tempted to say wisdom, Well, a lot of revelations, let's put it this way. Yeah. So what I first saw, because I understood, and I may do this in several parts, but I have done a video, and if it'd be interesting to see, I will pop it up and just to make a reference of it, and because remembering the title sometimes it's really something. Okay, so the title, which is wow, number 4. Okay, it is 2020. The gods are rebooting numerology. Okay, so this is on the same subject, and I may just do part two or so on this one. So what I noticed when I was looking at, and this was meant to be just a fun thing, but I noticed, especially we call ourselves black. I noticed in the middle of black was the word lack. And I felt that psychologically, every time we write this, perhaps there is a part of us that really subliminally sees this lack, if you like, and particularly with all what has been going on in our communities and our history, I see that this is very prevalent. Our of course, it's very enriched color, which everything comes from there, but in the middle, it's like a bag has been full of fruits or whatever it is you had, and it's a sack or a bag, but you keep taking out. And so there is, because it's also a degree of there's a it's a life force, if you like, then each time something comes out, it is forced to make an adjustment. And so, if you were to think of it as a brain that had something or black, it probably has a perception thinking, "Oh, something has come out. Someone has taken something out, or I've given something out." It's like this is the better way of putting it. It's like a mother who's been pregnant, and she gives birth to her child. There is a sense immediately like something, because your body had gotten used to having this child growing within you 9 months. And particularly if you did not, so for someone who has lost their child or had a miscarriage or something, they would really feel this. But because you have the child on the external, your attention is onto that child, you probably won't sense it as much as if the child was away from you. But this is what I'm saying, that within your stomach or whatever it is, you would have to go through a process of feeling lack, this lack. And you, of course, there's a uh, not compensation, but it substantiates, or having the child on the external really proves, okay, you haven't got that lack. You have something tangible, or something, you have the life force in your hands, still igniting all your synaptic nerves, and of course, you are very happy. So, but then I also looked onto this and I saw the word hit. And I thought, wow, that was speaking real volumes to me. And I thought, of course, this is what has happened in our society. And I will just make this part of the video short, because it can go on, because I really want to link it with the story of the AI, or Sophia the robot. So here we have this. Now to do the numerical values on this, this is another part that I want to highlight. So this is 2, this is 3, 1, 3, 2. And if you watch my earlier videos, you would see that I had the numbers 2 and 3. I think at one time it was 3 and 2, and they fell down. I didn't know which way. I just went with my intuition. But 2 and 3 and 3 and 2, these numbers have been more or less following me. And of course, it hadn't dawned on me that my real name, Shakti, is actually it comes to 23, so which is also 5. And that's one of the reasons why I really believe that I have been more or less ordained to do this. And there is no one else that I know of who's doing this, and I would really love to. I would love to partner with someone on this and really get this information out, because there's so much, and my ability to deliver as much as the information that I'm getting is perhaps better to partner with someone. Okay, so now we have for white, we have 5, 8, 9, 2, 5. And there's what I notice as well. So on the sacrifice template, for instance, what you will notice is these are high numbers. So, and these are low numbers. Now, in our world, or in the material world, more than anything else, we know, for instance, that everything like one is the seed. If you gave someone a seed and it grew, it can grow, and you can have lots of mango seed, and you can have a tree of mango. However, if you give someone $1 or a pound, they would think, well, I'm gonna have to try and invest this, and how long it's going to take. You cannot compare $1 with $9 here. So in our material world, where we say more is more. Um, Everyone wants more. This is how we have been shaped. Everyone wants more. We can see how these numbers are very much um, higher or stronger. And on according to the sacrifice template as well, I will show you how. Wow. Okay, there we are. I've got everything here. Okay, let's oh, before I continue, I'm going to call on the presence of Mother Eve and Revelation, and the waters for reflection. And so may the Spirit really be ignited, that we can have truth and really have revelation in what is appropriate for us right now. So, according to this template, we can see that these numbers, like from it's 58925. So the only low number that reflects on, perhaps I really should have done it here. Okay. Perhaps the only low number, I'm going to do this here, BLACK, and white, and 23132589225. So you can see, oh, I'm sorry about the light reflecting this way, but it's not much I can do. The lowest number is 2, and the 2 here is reflecting this, or matching with the bucket. If you have watched my videos on how this template was devised, I have now put them red, white. It's like almost like a black and white, if you like, but or the red pill or the blue pill. And here, these are the letters on to this side that I had no control, almost powerless. but easy because it was just intuitively done, that I was not to interfere with the position of these letters as A, B, C, D in that order. But you will notice in the other hair on this side that the JA has been moved and not the S, because the S is really Mother Eve, and not the BKT, which I see as the bucket, or the bucket or the basket, which denotes food, and that which, or agreement or partnership, or things that people do or engage. It's like when two people strike a deal, because this I am showing here, this is what our corporate world, if you like, is built upon this structures. And we may think that it's all about going to church and you sing hymns and so on, and that's what the Bible is being used for. No, it's been used to build the structures, the societies, the constructs of beliefs and practices and businesses. That's what it is used for as well. And so the story of Christ, because we were looking at sacrifice, has really taught us here that this would denote maybe the Last Supper, if you like. Not maybe, it would, because the B, which goes in two here, uh, B signifies, you could say, it's the formation of number one and three. Number one and three forms B. And that was the bond that Christ did with his disciples at the table. So I have covered a little bit of this. I'm just going over it. So we could see, where, like when Christ also performed the miracle with bread and fish or something, you could always see that there was always food. He fed the people. And this is one of the things that have been used to control people, or to, pull them to you, if you like, food and drink and wine and whatever it is that you have, as long as it's something that goes in the mouth. Now, of course, this also makes sense because it's a way of saying, because Jesus, for instance, was speaking. So the two mouths, their mouths are eating, his mouth is speaking, mouth and mouth is just engaging. And so the emphasis, if you like, is on what goes in and what comes out. So this would be like a parable, if you like. Um, there we have luck, Luc. That means that this was something that I moved. The D maintained its position, and now I can see why as well. So DVM is what I call development, and we have new. So I'm not to go on too much with this. Just in case you are new, I would say that it'd be good to check out my video on template to numerology, or introduction to Crime Queen's numerology, or something like that. And I felt that this was very interesting because we had 11 letters here, but 11 is corresponding with number 5 plus 6. Oh, we haven't got the numbers on here. Let's put the numbers on here. Because we have 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. So we can see that there is a pattern here. I'm not making this up. That's how it is devised. It is constructed. So we can see 369, 369, 369. We also, basically, 5 plus 6 is 11. Now, when there was something I came across, the word human, which is not in the Bible, but it comes to 11. So it means as if it's a proof that you're born human. So meaning you are new. You come out and you are new. NEW. Let me get a pointer. So it's NEW, and you are new. Once you're born, or your shift, or whatever it is. But we are now in this new state. Now it's important for us to look at this. Now this, as going back to black and white hair, is that what came got my attention, as I said before, is it's this lack, but this comes to seven. These numbers here. So the number seven is like the number of creation here, in the sense that 6 days was creation on the seventh day of rest. And we also see that one is one, the numerical value is for one is here in the middle, and it also corresponds with the letter in the heart. I'll just come back to that, and I may come back to that in another video just to keep this one short. Here we also see that we have nine here in the middle. This is also indicative that nine is completion. So completion, like the birthing out something. And birthing out something, you have to start your cycle over again. Starting the cycle over again, we see one is right there in the heart to heart, would be 1 plus 9 would be 10. 10 is where it's like you're seen as perfect. You are seen as, because the word perfect equals 10 anyway. And of course, perfect is that you don't just stay perfect, then the cycle goes on again, and then you become this 11 to be renewed. But how does one go from this um, ending to come back here is very important, and that's what I would like us to examine. When I saw this, there was heart-wrenching moments in what I saw, but then it also consoled me because I knew everything is a cycle. And it's as long as we can get this information, we can be empowered to know how to operate. So back to these numbers here, 58925. We see that the newness is always here. So 5 corresponding to this 5 here on either sides. That tells me that the people who are in this position here, whether they, and of course we see the indication for the gods here. So this is the template. They can access the gods right here, access the gods to create whatever it is that they want, because they have something there like this in themselves on which to attach themselves to, quoting Emmett Fox. Nothing can come into your consciousness unless it finds something like itself within you on which to attach itself to. Now, this is like not exact quote, but this is the essence of it. So while we say that, oh, the white man is like, oh, they have, and you're black and you're poor, or this kind of words or whatever it is, and my thing is really to promote balance, to promote growth and empowerment. This is what I do. And so I'm laying this out to show how or where we've been and what we can do to get where we want to be. So 5, 8, 9, and we have 2, 5. So we have 5, 8, 9. Okay, and we can also see this is Inland Revenue, Headquarters Zone, Gypsy Journey, and Fox. Okay, so we can see even Fox TV comes onto this side. Everything has polarities, and that's important for us to note as well. So here we can see that these 2, 5 can hinge onto there. So newness can happen here, access to the gods. The W is 2 sevens, as I said. In here we saw the word hit, which really shows me, tells me about our culture, our not culture, our history. or the human history of those who have been less privileged. Now, let me point out as well, I think it's not just about who we call black. I feel black is that function. I think both black and white is a function. They play out in functions. And so it's best that we see beyond what we see as color, but the function. Okay. Now, in this illustration here, what we can see here is the only stimuli rather, or the only hinge or tool that is in white here is the number 2. And this 2 corresponds with the bucket, which is what I saw. And this is where it kind of really did touch me very deeply, that it means that the people who are living high lives, if you like, in this area, which is the Fox, the Gypsy Journey, the headquarters zone. Because headquarters zone, if you check my video, is there. You go and you pay your inland, your revenue, whatever it is. It's the inland revenue or the corporate world, or your journey into the corporate world, and the taxes and so on. So with having to do this journey, there are also those who are controlling this area. And so we can see that this is in correspondence with this side, apart from the number 2, which is here. And this is where I saw that where people are feeding. So the bucket here, for instance, a bucket has depth, if you like, or a basket can only hold what is dry. It's not going to hold anything of substance, but well, it's substance, yes, but bread or something not with water and or fluid. And the 13 has always been like the incubator. Now if you look at the B and to B, this is what I mean by it's like this 13, which corresponds with Christ. So you could see it, this S and S here, and A would be 1 1. This also would correspond with Jesus, like 2 11s right here, and 1 plus 1 would be 2. So basically, when agreement is formed, people could draw on equal. In fact, I did do the word for equal, EQUAL, and see what it comes to. So it's 58313. I don't quite remember what it is, but this is 13, this is 16, yeah, 13, 16, 19, 20. So 20, we could say 1 1 is 20, equal. And this is very interesting because 20 is 7, and 7 also is the numerical value. 20 is well, when we do the numerical value for 7, 20. Okay, let's leave this one here for now so I don't confuse you. But we could see 1 plus 1 becomes 2. And of course, changing the position of this would be the equal sign. So this is what happens when two people agree. They become equal on whatever subject or whatever interest that you have. And that's what happened with Jesus, with his disciples. The bonding was taking place. They were equal. As long as you sit at the same table, of course you're equal. There's something about the head table and so on, but everyone is on the same plane here. So we had this bond here, and this is what the B is. So you can see it's 13 and it's B. Okay. The other thing I also saw with this now is that we see 2 is on black on both sides. So that also tells me that although T is also seen as the it depends. As I say, everything has polarities. As the tree of life, or tree of good and evil, or tree of knowledge, or whatever, it's the tree. Let's just put it this way. Tea. But it also tells me that this tea, which is two strokes as well, that could be two, as it's just looking at this, that the way the two is formed, two is like, um it has its head, it bend, it is like, it's humble. Two, because agreement has formed, it is humble, it's in agreement, it's like, really, it's bowing its head, it's in reverence, it is, um that's how two is playing out here. And so, especially to say that it's been given food and drink, it's saying yes, thank you, yes, thank you, and so on. So this is what two is doing here. And two from here is getting hooked. It gets hooked with this other two right here. So it's actually almost blind to knowing that there is another two behind it, although it would still have a presence because it has got this other part here. But there's two, meaning that 2 plus 2 can become 4. But the thing is, going back to Emmett Fox, nothing can come into your consciousness unless it finds something like itself on which to attach itself to. This can be attached onto hair, the two ends right here on either end. So whether you go back, two can really connect with you. Whether you go forward, two can connect with you because it has something like itself on which to attach itself to. I probably will go on with this because um it's just the essence of what is happening now. And so you can see that one can get hit by these in the middle here, or one can feel lack here because there's 7 here, and 7 actually, seven equals 20. This is what I was trying to say. 7 equals 20. I won't be doing all these again. I've been doing them quite a lot. But Eve is in the middle. And Eve is that, according to the scriptures, Eve is, or the, sorry, the dictionary, Eve is that which existed before any event takes place. So you can see that in the middle of black hair, there is that event. That's that Eve. Eve is hair. And that's what we have been doing, whatever we like with Eve. It's like the naughty child that does that, squanders and disrespect, and just takes and takes and takes. And that's what's happened now in our world, because people have been taking, 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 and the earth now is rebelling. It's like saying, okay, I've had enough now, this is it. This is it. So 7. So if we did the word 1 just like this, because we are looking at number 1 as well, or the whole. 1 is like the whole. So this is 655. 1 plus 6 is 7. This is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So this is how we have 7 here as well. 7 is here as well. Okay. So this is telling me that there is wholeness in the middle, right here. It's like a hole, like I said before, in the middle. Now let's look at here. When we add this together, because that is 17, 18, 19. 19 too is also a sense of wholeness. But it gives you the image, the clear image of going from 1 to 9 right here. It gives you the it shows the capacity of movement that can happen here. To hit here, HIT, there is action, there is movement. This is where it says, and God moved upon the Spirit of God, moved upon the face of the deep. There is movement, or to make. All the other acts of creation was really showing or depicting movement. And in the middle here, of course, we can see how that has played out. I believe that these two functions will working or can work very well to create balance, but it's how they have been used and how they have been played out in our society. So as I say, this showing here and how to can harness onto hair and hair. Resolution. Okay. It's remembering. It's so important that we remember to go into the core. This is what is happening. It's like the earth is turning over to really get into the core, the deep core of who she is, Mother Eve, right here. Is required to, and in turn of what we are experiencing now, going through this coronavirus, whether it's 5G, whether it's AI, and these are three main things that are happening. And of course, I should say four main things that are happening, because the Pope as well is doing on the 14th of May, is going to, is it the 14th of May? Yes, is going to be signing or agreeing on this global educational pact that is happening. In fact, I think I did the numerical value for global educational pact. Perhaps really came to the number five in the end too, because everything is just happening perfectly like that. So this is what is happening here, is to say, um, I can't sustain you anymore right now unless you have been hating so much. You have been hating. Now I'm rebelling. This is what is happening. So it's the sacrifice time is happening right here. So seven has shown its capacity. So seven has showed Mother Eve in the middle. So as much as we see lack, but we see it's Eve, and it was Eve who had of the apple, who gave. So we can see the how the story is evolving right here. On either side here, because it's the serpent, the wisest, we have 1 + 5 is 6, and 6 is also denoting the number of man. Here we have WE, so this is also saying we are heating. Here we have tutus BK, which is also right here. This is what I mean. BK is right here, where it seemed like it reminds me of the KKK. It's like I'm getting the feeling that these people had some great intelligence, and things may have happened just intuitively for them, because they deal on in whatever realm they were dealing. But this also showed that they knew how to deep into some kind of intelligence somehow to get whatever it is. Here we can see, as I say, 5 + 5 now is 10. 10 is also Adam, Adam. So, and I also meant to show this because Adam is 14, 14, and the number 14 has been coming up quite a lot. So it's now what I'm getting at. We are now building, developing a new Adam. Eve is also, so Eve is also 5, 1, 4, 5. So this is 14 as well. So here we have. Now I'm really seeing, getting this intuitive guidance to say that ADM would have come from MADA. DA is like mother. This is what has been coming to me. or we have Dame, Dame. So we could see that this the derivative, if you like, of or of Adam in this sense. This is how I see it. So this would be 5, 5, 55. 5 plus 5 would be 10. Like we have 5. So we are 10. We are 10. Okay. And there's something else I need to get onto, Sophia, with this as well. And but it's so we have heat, we have lack, and so just to point this out now, so we have lack would be LAC. So basically, if we look at numbers 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, so it's just three numbers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We could see how it's arranged. They're very strong numbers because they also they're the first numbers. It's like the first fruits, but it's not how we have been conditioned to see this. So it's important we see things clearly, and we would see that two which is B, and B is very strong, but this is what we need to recognize, that strength. And the lesson here for these people who are in this function is to recognize that you who you are making agreements with, that's where the true strength lies. Who are you going into agreement with? When we are giving out information on social media or online, or we just say I accept, which I do as well, because you want the information but you don't know how much of your data you are giving away. You do not take time to become aware of how much of your data that you are giving in exchange, because it's a law of exchange happening here, in exchange for that information. So you just click I accept, and then you are forming a bond. This is where you are going into the I accept position. Now, this is so, something has just struck my attention as well, to show that this is the reality in what I am saying. It's showing you that in the bucket column, it goes on the A, which means the A goes into the core. So whatever you are make agreement you are making here, because you are 6, you are actually making that agreement that goes right down to the core of who you are. If you are making agreement with, because it's the one who's hitting here with 9, with 9, you 9, wow, 9 is taking you right here, because it's like a contract again. You go for a job and you say, oh, you've got the job, you shake their hands and you hadn't read all the things or whatever, but it's going to take you right here to the inland revenue. You are going to, you can see these colors. It means that yes, you'll be going, you have this red, you are taking this red hair, and basically like saying taking the red pill. But be mindful of what your red pill is about. Whether is it for the benefit of someone else, or is it going to benefit you? It is very important to do that. So you will by all means get into this inland revenue. Are you going to be the one who is paying heavy taxes, or are you going to be the one collecting taxes? It is so important that you know which side of the agreement you are on, and that it is beneficial to you. So because this is where you will be harnessing on 9. And of course, if we add this together, this becomes 1. 10 would be 1. Okay, 1 plus 9 is 10, and of course 10 is 1. Okay, hope you can see this. So in actual fact, this also gives it the opportunity to get back here, because the serpent is playing very, it's like someone said, God playing on, again, I think it was Emmett Fox, See God as playing on both sides, because the serpent has his head. He can be turned either way. He can turn this way and he can turn the other way. So he is half half. He actually becomes your W, because he's a you going this way and he's a you going that way. But it's important that you are aware of that. You can actually make him or use him, but who's got the W here? Who's got the W here? This is what we need to start paying attention to. Now the W as well, I have seen as the 3, and I've seen it as the W, as the M, and as E, and that's what forms the 8-petal flower. So how can you see how the strength is being portrayed here in the world for materializing and progressing and into the sort of world that we live in? So 3 is that number that can be the handcuff. It's a magic number, and so it has the ability, which is like the S here, to go all kinds of different areas or directions rather. So this is very important. Then we have E here as well, which is also denoting the Mother Eve's presence with the 5. So basically, this or say white has taken on the attribute or on wisdom of Mother Eve. 5 is also showing that it has the ability to be masculine and feminine. So we could see the masculine and the feminine, the softness. So basically it is balanced in its own way as well. This is so important that we understand the functions of these numbers. However, remember that while you are in this W or having this W, because W, in fact, I had the, oh, I won't do it right now, but the numerical value for the word double um, is that you understand that who you are mirroring, who you are looking or focusing at, because what you focus on is what you become. So this is very important that we work this out. Another thing to show what's happening right now, and this is the main thing I want to show as well. We are moving into the world of technology and AI, this artificial intelligence. And we have Sophia, PHIA. Okay. I think I'm going to do this on the other board now. Oh, let's do it. Yeah. So we have SOPHIA, which is 16789 1. So we can see, going by the template, Sophia is very strong, showing very strong again, not only having the strong letters or numbers like this way, okay, but also having this one on one and the SA, which corresponds with the first 2 letters of the sacrifice template. This is not by chance. So SA has the numerical value, because A is, as you can see, has the numerical value of 1. So SA, 1 plus 1 would be 2, and 2 obviously just puts Sophia into this category, or in this dimension, is able to tap into her. And we have I hadn't thought about what word that comes into. It just looks like PIO, okay, Ofi. Okay, Ofi. In fact, I know someone who's called Ofi, but however, the other thing I want to point out is we have these numbers here again, which shows in our world, if you say £6 or dollars, it's much more than two or three, or one or two or $3. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9 right here, which corresponds to 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can see from here, looking at white hair as a function, we'll say as a function, and I'm really wanting to, as I say, promote empowerment here. So as a function of white hair, and you can see that 5 has the ability to be hair, which already has the connection. So what function is controlling Sophia? This is one thing for us to ask. What is the body or the function or the force behind Sophia? And here we could see it's not black, it's white. And again, this is the function we see. And am I being diplomatic? Well, that's the world we have been in. Okay. And so we can see that 8, 9, and 5, all these are corresponding to where I was not able to shift. This is the fox. Who's been the fox? Who's been on the gypsy journey? Who's controlling headquarters zone or the inland revenue right here? Who's doing all this? Okay, let's go back to Sophia here. The other thing, as I say, is pointing out this is 1 and 1. And if we see this 1 and 1 reminds me of the story of Sarah, Sarah, and she was first Sarai. Okay, but we have 1 1 here. We can see how that is all corresponding. Then we have which is SA. Then we have Jesus, Jesus, 1 5 1 3 1. Adding this together is 11. This is 5 7 10 11. This is 11. If we did the numerical value for the word 11, that would give us 9. So you can see that it's in a position of birthing newness, like consistently birthing newness. So 1 plus 1 and 1 would be hinging onto one hair. All this hair, it would be hinging, connecting or anchoring onto this position, and of course having this bucket hair to be able to do as, because by having 9 as well, that would be completing this, because 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so what we have seen here, for instance, it's almost as if luck, this is the point, the area that I haven't seen a connection as such. If we had to say, well, have a root, it's as if 3 is okay. This is, I do understand why it's like this. Yes, yes. So we have all this red hair, all this that we weren't able to shift. But this is the thing about the serpent. The serpent is sly. The serpent is smart. The serpent is like, there'll be a time it shed its skin and it's lying low, and so basically 3 is the function, is another function of the serpent, where it is, you could say, asleep, but it is present. So we have 3, and this is why 3, because the S is already like 3. If you anchor onto this S, you already have the ability to move like 3. like in this column. So you already have, this is another thing here with the white hair. This W already has the free. It's already the free that forms the eight petal flower. So it is three, it is M, it is E, and it's W. So it really does not need any access or visible access to this column. That's really interesting. So I haven't in all of this show the numerical values for this, or we already, sorry, did do 7 here. 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 2, 11. I hadn't done that. And then we have 5 plus 8 is for 13, plus 9 is 21, 26, 27, 28. Sorry, it's 29. So check that again. So this is 10, 17, that's 27, 28, 29. Yes, so 2 plus 9 is 11. So both functions have the same numerical value. And this is what it is when we are born new, whether we were black or white, we have the same rights, we have the same function, we have the same everything. We all come from this place. And whenever we are shedding our skin or moving into a new dimension or a new phase or a new shift, this is the function, this is the place where we are, because the 14 gods are there to assist us. Do you want to go left or do you want to go right? We have to determine which end we are going and have clear vision of what it is we are wanting to achieve or wanting to be. So this I find is very interesting because it still means that when we do the numerical value for the word 11, as I say, 11, Eleven, which has Mother Eve in it. So Mother Eve is still showing her presence consistently here and also here. So this is 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5. Okay, so this is 10. This is 27. 27 is 9. Right. And if we did the numerical value for 9, because we can see all 1 to 9, but 9 is 5, 9, 5, 5. This is 26, 24, sorry, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay. So, and 6 now. 6 gives us 7. I'm not going to go into it. 6 gives us 7, which is 16. I probably do this. 9, 6. This is 16, gives us 7. Do we see how how 7 is come round again and to be 20? Here we are, 20, which is the year 2020 we are in now. So 20 is giving us, I'll just wrap this up, 7, which we have done, but I want you to see the cycle of it. Mother Eve is there again. So we had 11, we had 9, we had 11, we had 9, we had 6, and then we have 7. Right. So 9, 6, 7, which is what we see with Sophia, has those attributes as well. So it's 9, 6, 7. But this is the bit here, which we are coming to. So doing the numerical value for 7 is 1, 5, 4, 5, 5. Okay, and that gives us 20. So this means that 20 gives us 8. And this is where it said Mother Eve ate of the fruit. This is the cycle, the full cycle we are doing. I might as well give you the full cycle. So 7 gives us 8. 7 gives us 8. 20, sorry. 7 gives, oh, I've lost my trail on here now. Okay, 7 gives us 20. So 20 gives us 8. So, okay, or 2. So if we do 2, we know we get the 13, we go back to hair. So, numerically speaking, 2 gives us 13. So we see how we get back to her. And this is how Mother Eve is getting her nourishment back. We are going back to basics here. Basically, and 13, the word 13 gives us 9. For it comes to 45. So it means we are doing the whole cycle here. I hope you really get this. Yeah, it is because we are dealing with numbers, but it's so important that we understand the cycles of life that we are in this time, and that it is important that we really pay attention to what's moving or how the decisions we are making. I also hadn't done the numerical value for Sophia. Now the thing is, there is another Sophia like this, but it's not used, this Sophia. 16691. This would be 10, 24, 22, 22, 23. This is really interesting. This is 23, but we have 10 plus 15 is 25, 31, 32. Why isn't this one chosen? I can't tell you fully, but this one is not chosen because it hasn't got all these. It hasn't got the 8 that would correspond with where Mother Eve ate of the fruit, because the word ate equals 8, or eat equals 8. Also, remember, this is what happens in number 2, where people are being fed. Here, people are eating. So if you don't have food, you can't eat here. There's a representation of 8. This is headquarter zone, the H as well, going to headquarter zone. Headquarter zone does not exist in here. This is where there is a set of people, or a set of functions that happen here, because the word set is 152 and it equals 8. This is it here, and that's one of the gods. So in this this calculation with 8 already exists the set God. So whatever is happening, whatever changes, whatever new man is being created in their image and likeness, or in God's image and likeness, whoever the God is, there's the 8 that is set in the template right here. This also corresponds with Christ, which is 3. I am stating this because we really see, well, Christ is the Savior. So this is 20, 31, 32. So Sophia actually is going to be portraying the Christ. This or is intended. I'm being mindful of how I phrase this. Sophia is being intended to be portrayed as the new Christ, who has come to save mankind, or the God who's going to make man in his own image, or make man in her own image and likeness. This is what is happening now. There's a new template that is being set for the creation of a new people, a new man, a new creature, which coincides with the text where Mother Eve says, let the waters bring forth gushing. I think it was Mother Eve there, bring forth abundant creatures, that which have life, that which have life. And now we are seeing what is life is, or what is that seems like life. It's I'm not quite sure, but we will just to identify the difference here. Life is 23, and but we need to make LIFE, make life to be, this is 3962. This is 15, 18, 15, 18, 19, 20. Oh, life is free, is it? Oh, hold on. 3965. So this is 23. That's correct. 23. Okay. So basically, life, we could see we have 23 here, and we have this was 29 here. So we need to just be mindful of this. You may need to watch this a second time to really get it, but what it is that we are required now. We need to take on this W, learn from who you are mirroring, who you are um, attached with. And now that we have this social distancing, we it's like this, it has been split. You are like this now, so you can't, it's like saying you don't really have the power to function, use this function here, or even here, the W, to be able to maneuver here. So I've got more to do on this. Do join me again, and there's so much more to this. So much more. So thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. It is wee hours of the morning, but I just had to get this out because it had been resting on my chest, so to speak. Okay, so thank you. Like and subscribe and stay ignited. Thank you.